Hello, welcome to practice. Thank you for your patience when yesterday I wasn't here. Um, I had a madcap day yesterday, like unbelievable day. I woke up yesterday morning I woke up at 3:30 in the morning. I then went to and I left I was in the Bay Area. I left San Leandro at 5. I got to Dunsmuir at 10, had time to quickly unload my car. And then I left and went another 2 hours up to Medford and got a call that my sister, whose flight was delayed, who I was picking up at the airport, that her flight was delayed by 8 hours. So then I had 8 hours in Medford, just like, what am I going to do? So I went, I got my nails done. I did like fun. I was like, okay, adventure day in Medford. So it was kind of a fun and interesting day. I ended up thinking that I thought I was going to be home yesterday by about like 1 p.m. I got home last night at 10:30 at night. So it has been a little adventure. So sorry I didn't do practice. I mean, it was just like everything got derailed yesterday. But here we are and ready to do practice today. And I hope everyone's having a really good day. Um, it is, I can't believe, already Wednesday, the 11th. We are in the midst of the Perseids meteor shower. The Perseids meteor shower happens once a year. Beautiful, vivid sky show, peaking in the hours between midnight and about 4 a.m. West Coast time. So closer to sunrise, like between like 3 in the morning and 6 in the morning, East Coast time. If you can get out there, it's the peak today. So if you can get out there tonight and look at some meteors and wish on a falling star, you might find that it's enjoyable and fun to do that. I'm going to be doing that because today we have the arrival of the women of the Mother of Magic, Daughter of the Stars campout that the temple is doing. We have mothers and daughters coming from around California, and Priestess Tara Honora flew in from Missouri to help me with this retreat. She's going to do some storytelling, and we're going to do some star watching, hopefully, if the sky is clear, and we're going to do some just, fun camp out things, craft things. I'm really excited about it. I feel like, we don't really see anymore a lot of like specific mother-daughter magic in the world, but I like it and I want to keep it going. So yeah, I know, Brandy, you'll have to come next time. We would love to have you. I had posted about it. We only had 8 spots, so they filled up pretty quickly. But next year, maybe I'll do a little bigger one. This is our first camp out, but certainly not our last. All right. So speaking of mothers and daughters, we're going to honor the great mother, Isis Aset, with the Nehes prayer. Nehes, 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 Nehes Emhotep, Nehes Neferu, Nevet Hotepet, Weben Emhotep, Weben Neferu, Nuchet an Ankh, Nefer Pet, Pet Emhotep, Tu Emhotep, Nucher Satnut Satget, Merit Osar, Nucher Asharenu, Anech Rach, Tu Aatu, Tu Aatu, Nebet Aset. Awake, 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 awake in peace. Lady of peace, rise thou in peace. Rise thou in beauty, goddess of life. Beautiful in heaven, heaven is in peace. Earth is in peace. O goddess, daughter of Nut, daughter of Geb, beloved of Osiris, mother of Horus, goddess rich in names, all praise to you, all praise to you. I adore you, Lady Isis. And just a little reminder that the Mount Shasta Goddess Temple image of Isis depicts Isis with her wings spread, rising above Castle Crags in the wilderness south of Dunsmuir. And this wilderness is a place where some of the most horrific slaughter of the Okwanuchu people happened in this region by the logging interests. And so we deliberately chose to place Isis, the goddess of healing and alchemy, at this place. The Castle Crags are over 1 million years old, whereas Mount Shasta is a mere 500,000 years old. And we wanted to really honor that there is an ancient and timeless presence at this place that was there before colonization, that will be there long after all of us are gone. So Priestess Holly made this beautiful art. She's so talented. And I do have these little cards available, or you can go on to Priestess Holly's website and order a larger print. Her website is wildempressmagic.com. wildempressmagic.com. All right, let's have our divination. So speaking of goddess rich in names, we had the goddess of 10,000 names the other day, a really sacred image for me. Let's see what today's divination yields. Truth is unveiled, the revelation of Isis. And it shows Isis. Who is she standing with here? We'll find out. Truths unveiled, not truth is unveiled, it's truths unveiled. And how about that in regards to Governor Cuomo? Whew, I've been following that. That is really a very intense situation. Okay, so this is the image represents Isis and her brother Set, who, out of his great jealousy, murdered her beloved husband, Osiris. There are times when appearances of people, places, and things are truly deceptive. You will sense this when something feels uncomfortable within you, when you notice feelings of anxiety or doubt within you. You may think there is something wrong with you, but actually, you're intuitively sensing that all is not as it appears to be. It is wise to trust your inner feelings rather than being convinced by outward appearances. There is a situation in your life, especially involving relationships, where something is not as it has been made out to be. To avoid undue suffering later on, Isis guides you to truth and revelation now. The revelation of Isis is needed when someone or something is not as it outwardly appears to be. No matter how sacred it may seem, a spiritual person, a family relationship, a shared history, there are times when, although it is more painful to admit the truth in the short term, in the long term, it will save you much suffering and many feelings of being duped, misled, manipulated, used, or abused. It will also make it more likely that the situation or relationship can grow into a healthier expression if possible. You cannot heal what is not revealed. Isis is with you now to help you realize the truths, to admit that you probably already sensed it anyway, and to make wise use of these revelations. The Oracle of Truths Unveiled speaks of a time soon to come when you will realize true perception. What you thought was trustworthy, legitimate, or reliable may turn to sand, crumbling before your eyes. It could be a friendship, a job, an offer of some kind, even the behavior of a loved one, causing you to question the real commitment or respect in the relationship. What is important here is to realize that when you see the truth, you can act appropriately. You will not proceed with inappropriate expectations, and you can reassess your boundaries and priorities to get the most out of the situation and not suffer undue disappointment later on. Isis was able to demonstrate great spiritual strength and healing power to resurrect her beloved murdered Osiris, and all was not lost. She also learned a painful and valuable lesson that it is wise to take our intuitive feelings seriously and to recognize a snake in the grass when there is one. When pregnant with her divine child Horus, Isis ran and hid from Set, recognizing that he was destructive and dangerous, honoring what she knew, not pretending that it was all just fine. In doing so, her child was able to survive and be born. In this same way, there are creative impulses and new life burgeoning within you that need to be protected until they are strong enough to withstand negativity or the undermining of another out of jealousy or fear. Even a close friend whom you love and who loves you may struggle with your creative side, perhaps because they are yet to tap into their own creativity. It's best to be honest with yourself and to know that sometimes, out of sense and kindness, the fragile creative beginnings of something new need to be protected. Like Isis, you must protect that which needs protection by recognizing where someone or something could harm rather than nourish new life. You are being guided with this oracle to trust your judgment about someone's motivations or intentions. If you feel something is not quite right, then give your discernment a chance to more fully form so that you can see the truth. The more emotionally detached you allow yourself to be, the clearer your assessment of the person, situation, or project is likely to be. If you have been thinking that you already see the truth in a situation, this oracle is confirming the accuracy of that perception. And that further confirmation that you are seeing something accurate will soon be given. Ask for a revelation and be patient. Clear perception is imminent. It will help you make wise choices. There is a great and ugly wound, a rend, a gash, bleeding gash in women's community. And that great ugly wound in women's community is that of feeling the need to pretend that one always knew. Even if intuitively you always knew magical aspects of yourself, you were always psychic and you had gifts, still, there have been women along the way who have inspired you, helped you potentiate your gifts, honored your gifts, honored your movement in the world. And that is not to be underestimated. It is the height of spiritual immaturity to be unable to acknowledge those who have contributed to your path. It is like high school. It's like inventing a grandmother that taught you things when you know that's not true. It's like inventing some kind of a mystical beginning to your knowledge where you channeled or downloaded, as opposed to really looking at our development for what it is Every single one of us has grown by little fits and starts, by incremental degrees through our lives, regardless of whether you've ever taken any formal classes or not, regardless of whether you've committed yourself to a particular tradition or program or not. You had people and have people who inspire you, uplift you, who are there for you, who cheer you on, who tell you you're wonderful, who say, yes, keep going. And those people are part of your success. They're not separate from it. Yeah. See, Budapest was one of those for me. And I really, really let her down. I had an amazing, amazing witchcraft teacher who loved me, who I loved, who was there for me. She gave me a job when I was broke. She gave me a platform when I was really finding my voice. She was the only teacher at that time who was willing to give me direct criticism that helped me be better, instead of just sort of like me paying somebody to tell me how great I was, which a lot of priestess training programs are. She was the real thing, and I really let her down. It was a huge wound in my own heart and in my own life. I turned away from her. I disavowed her. Fast forward years later, I apologized to her, and I told her in no uncertain terms, publicly, in front of people, in front of our wider community, that I was sorry. I said it out loud. I wrote it. I thanked her. I sent her a note. I sent her a private note as well, more extensive, more detailed. And she sent back great advice. She sent back a little bit of vinegar and a whole lot of honey. There was a little vinegar, though, and she had every right to have that vinegar. I'm very grateful that that experience of being the untrustworthy person, of being the fickle person, taught me more about what it is to be the loyal person. I'm so grateful that I was able to take that situation and use it to learn to be a better person. Not everybody has an opportunity in our lives to go back and fix something that was broken, where we disavowed or harmed someone who had loved us. Not everybody has the opportunity to make it right. I am so grateful that in whatever way I could make it right there. And she's still, distant from me, and I understand, because I wouldn't trust me either. But she's never, ever put me down or tried to harm me, even though I wasn't up to par as a student. I learned a lot from that experience, and it has reverberated through my life. And I've had other people in my life like that too, where I either learned from them and grew from them, and then there's that like awkward phase when you kind of outgrow a particular paradigm with someone and you're ready to move on. And then there's also the paradigm that I now have, which is a life-changing paradigm, which is that I took refuge vows with my Lama, and I am with her. I am with her in this lifetime. I am with her in all lifetimes. I will come back just to find her. I will follow her wherever universe she decides to rebirth. I will go be there, because she is amazing. Yeah, Sarah says, perhaps you also created a learning situation for her. I definitely think so. I definitely think that when two strong, powerful, magical women get themselves in a tangle, it's a learning for the collective. It's a learning for us all. I just wish we didn't have to keep learning it. That's what I wish. I wish we didn't have to keep learning it. But as many times as we come into bodies and live on this earth, we're going to have lessons about loyalty, about betrayal, about honesty, about honor, about dignity, about diligence, about caring for that which cares for us. You know, this is why in Tibetan Buddhism, we are taught that, you know, our parents don't owe us anything, all that they already did their job by bringing us into the world. We're taught that our, you know, teachers, even if they're fallible, are still worthy of listening to. Even if they're human, even if they make mistakes, they're still worthy of listening to. We're taught that, you know, we can look upon every being in the world as if that being was once our mother, because they probably once were our mother in some lifetime. So there's a lot of growth room here if we're willing to address the fact that we have a collective wound. Yes, exactly. Sarah, you should be doing this with me. I wish we could do this together. Sarah's saying some great things. She says, learning is like climbing up a spiral staircase. You pass by the same lesson from different vantage points as you ascend. That's exactly right. You know, and I think that like every single one of us, if we want this world to be healed and whole, is going to need to learn how to do this, how to go and clean it up when we've hurt someone or when someone has hurt us, to say, this hurt me, I want to fix it with you, or to say, I think I did something that wasn't right and I want to fix it with you. I want to clean this up with you. I am always willing, 100%. Like, I can't think of anyone. It's really difficult for me to think of anyone on the planet, alive or dead, that I would not be willing to clean it up with. Like any conflict I've ever had, I can't think of one single person that I wouldn't clean it up with if the timing was right, if the circumstances were safe. You know, I don't think anyone should put ourselves in harm's way. I don't think we should subject ourselves to abuse. Obviously, going towards someone who's been abusive to you and forgiving them while they're still being abusive is not going to really be functional to try and re-engage that relationship. But anybody who's making the genuine effort to fix it, oh yes, let's fix it. We can find a way to fix it. Even if it's a little uncomfortable, even if it's a little embarrassing, even if it's a little bit difficult, the rewards will be so sweet. Today, let's exercise our discernment. It is saying there's something around you that may not be as it seems. Go find it. Listen to your intuition. Set boundaries where you need to set them. It's okay to have a boundary if somebody is not treating you well. Have that boundary. Thank you, but no thank you. But also be willing to fix it if genuine transformation takes place, or if the heart says it's time to fix it. That's our short bit for today. Now, let's dive into Guanyin practice and get the juice we need to be able to be that compassionate. 3 prostrations before the shrine. And let's take refuge in the Dharma, which doesn't turn anyone away. Namo Guru Be. I take refuge in the inner teacher. Namo Buddhaye. I take refuge in the great Mother of Compassion. Namo Dharmaye. I take refuge in the wisdom of the ages. Namo Sanghaye. I take refuge